Well, let's get started. So we'll begin seated. And you can have a couple of props around, maybe a chair, or if you're close to a wall or nearby, like a couch. These are just things that you can have around that will help you in your practice. Also, a couple of blocks if you have them, but if you don't have blocks, something block-like, a book or a shoebox or something. And a strap if you have a yoga strap, or even a long towel will work. I do jujitsu, so like my gi belt, that if you have something like that could even work. Whatever you can use to help you into the poses. And then also a small pillow if you need it or would like to have it close by. The playlist is there for you. You can play that if you'd like, or play your own music, whatever you feel like today, but I've created a little Yoga Basics playlist. So go ahead and get started. You can start seated, and if you need a support, use that pillow or a blanket rolled up underneath your hips to lift your hips up. Or if you need to lie down on your back starting out, then you can do that also. I'm just going to begin pressing play on my playlist so I can kind of hear it along with you guys. And then once you come to that seated position, your hands can come to your lap or to your knees, wherever's comfortable. Sit up nice and tall. Allow your eyes to relax closed. Turn your attention to your natural breath. A wise yogi once said that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. The practice of yoga is a lifelong journey. Each time we come to our mat, it's another step on the path, and we always begin that first step with our breath. Turning your attention to your natural breath. And as we turn our attention to our natural breath, we learn one of the first rules of yoga, which is to let go. So by turning your attention there, you're just observing your breath. Just watching your breath, not trying to control it in any way. Just notice the rising of each inhale and the passing away of each exhale. And once we've allowed the mind and the body to settle, our attention is on the present moment through the breath. You can start to elongate your breath, make it longer and deeper. So with your next inhale, take a full breath in through your nose. Filling all the way up like you're filling up a balloon. Your rib cage expands, your shoulders rise. And then as you exhale, breathe out a long, slow, deep breath. Emptying from the top to the bottom. Shoulders release. Rib cage contracts. At the bottom of your exhale, you fill back up. A deep breath in through your nose. Inhaling, filling from the bottom of your belly through your rib cage to the top of your chest. Full expansive inhale. And at the top of your inhale, you slowly begin to exhale. Long, slow, and deep. Creating a circular breath, or what the yogis call the three-part breath, or the complete breath. Continue with this long, slow, deep breath, inhaling and exhaling through your nose. And find your way to your hands and your knees. So you move to a tabletop position on your mat. We'll take a few cat-cow poses. Your hands should be underneath the shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Spread your fingers wide and press into your fingertips and the palms of your hands as well as the heel of your hand. As you exhale, round your back. Tuck your belly and tuck your chin. Pressing your back up towards the sky, towards the ceiling. Inhale, drop your belly down. Roll your shoulders back. Lift your tailbone. Open your heart. Look up. Exhale, cat pose, rounding your back. Tuck your chin and your belly. Arch the spine. Feel the stretch through your upper back into your shoulder blades. Inhale, drop the belly, roll your shoulders back. Lift and look up. Deep breaths. Exhale, round and tuck. Inhale, open and lift. One more time. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale to a neutral spine. We'll take it into our thread the needle pose to stretch into the shoulders. So as you inhale, reach your right arm to the sky as high as you can. Open up through your right shoulder. And as you exhale, slide your right arm underneath your left, lowering your right shoulder onto the mat, and your right ear can come down. You can keep your left hand here, or you can reach your left arm up and maybe even wrap it around behind your back, opening through your left shoulder. Thread the needle pose, getting a nice twist for the spine, stretching through the shoulder, the low back, upper back. Take one more breath. Inhale. Exhale, release your left hand down. Press into your left hand and inhale, reach your right arm back up, opening your right side. Exhale, release your right hand down. Seating on the left side. Inhale, raise your left arm up, reach up through your fingertips, open the shoulder. Exhale, thread it underneath. Lower your left shoulder down and your left ear. Maybe you keep the right hand on the mat, or inhale, reach your right arm up. Maybe take it around behind your back. Couple of breaths here as you open up through the right shoulder, get that twist. Another inhale. Deep breath in. And then exhale, release your right hand to the mat, press into your right palm. Inhale, reach your left arm up. Exhale, release your left hand all the way back down. And from here, we'll step the right foot up, and then walk the hands, and you can even walk that left foot up or step it up to the top of your mat. Coming to a standing forward fold. Soften your knees. And you can grab opposite elbows here and sway from side to side. Feeling the stretch through your back and through the backs of your legs. Allowing your head to hang, shaking your head yes and no. Then release your palms to the mat as far as they'll go. Maybe you're a little higher, you might have your hands on the shins, and that's okay. We'll inhale, lift halfway and lengthen the spine. So your hands can come to your shins or your thighs as you draw your shoulder blades down and back. Lift your gaze. And exhale, fold chest to thighs. Hugging your legs, you can wrap your arms around your thighs or your calf muscles and draw your chest closer. Again, a little bend in the knees here is fine. Then root into your feet and slowly rise up to standing. Nice and easy, one vertebra at a time. Come all the way up. Reach your arms over your head. Exhale, catch your left wrist with your right hand and take a side bend to your right side. Inhale, back up. Catch your right wrist and exhale to your left side. Deep breath. Inhale to center. Take a little bit of back bend here. Look up. And then exhale, fold forward. Reaching your hands down towards the floor or as far as they'll go. You don't have to touch your toes here. Wherever you're at in your journey, whatever step you're on, is exactly where you're supposed to be. Inhale, lift halfway up, lengthen, squeeze the back, activating, and then exhale, release and fold. Tuck your chin. Again, rooting into your feet, inhale, slowly rising up, reach your arms over your head, catch your left wrist, and exhale to your right. Inhale to center. Exhale to your left side. Inhale to the middle, take that back bend. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Once again, rising up. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. Long, deep breathing. Exhale to your right. Inhale to the center. Exhale, left. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. So as we're taking this half sun salutation, inhale halfway up. Exhale, fold. Notice how there's a pose and then a counter pose. So we open and then we close. We lengthen and then we squeeze and contract. And our movement follows our breath. This is a half sun salutation, letter A, or half Surya Namaskar, letter A. And as you're moving, notice where you're feeling the stretch. Sun salutation A warms up the spine. Inhale, rise. We'll take it one more time through. Exhale, right side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Bring your feet together, your big toes to touch. Soften into your knees. We call this standing at attention or samasthitihi from our Ashtanga Vinyasa practice. Or you can even call it mountain pose, Tolasana. A little bend in the knees. Notice your breath, notice how you're feeling in your body. And now we're going to go into our modified sun salutation B to warm up into the hips and the lower back even more. So inhale, reach your arms over your head, a deep breath in as you lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step your left foot back. Lower your left knee down onto your mat. And if you need some support for your knees here, you can place a rolled up towel underneath your knees, or you can roll up your mat. It's probably easier to have a rolled up towel or blanket, just so that you can move it out of the way when you don't need it. And then from there, slowly walk your hands up onto your thigh. Sink your hips forward as far as your body will allow them to go. Getting a stretch through the top of your left thigh into your hip flexor. And taking that little back bend. You might even feel the stretch through your inner thigh of the right leg. If you feel good there, you can reach one arm up. And then the other arm up. Coming into a low lunge. Even lifting your gaze will help you open up through the front body even more. And as you exhale, lower your hands down to the inside of your right foot. So you can place your palms on a block if you need to. On a block, at whatever height works for you. Try to come down a little bit lower, sinking into the hips even more. You might be on your palms, or you can even lower down onto one forearm or both forearms if your body allows you to go there. With your next inhale, press into your hands. Reach your right arm to the sky, coming into dragonfly twist on the knee. So you open up, or you can take the hand to the hip. If reaching the arm up is too much, just place the hand on your right hip. Exhale, release your right hand down. Tuck your back toes under, kind of stepping that left foot back up to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands and step your right foot back. Gently lower down onto your right knee. You can place the top of your right foot flat. And then begin to walk your hands up that left thigh, sinking your hips forward. Again, coming into your low lunge, either hands on the knee, or you can take one arm or both arms up to the sky. So you open up through your front body. And exhale, release your hands to the inside of your left foot. Again, a block is helpful here, or you can take one or both forearms to the mat if you can go even lower into this lizard lunge. I'm feeling that stretch more into that inner thigh and hip of the left leg. With your next inhale, press into your palms. Open up through your left shoulder, hand on the knee, the hip, or the arm can reach up to the sky. Dragonfly twist on the knee. Exhale, release your left hand down. Tuck the back toes. Walk that right foot up, or big step all the way to the top. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Nice big stretch through the hamstrings. Step your left foot back. Lower the knee and then inhale. Walk the hands up the thigh. Reach your arms towards the sky. Exhale, lizard lunge. Palms to the mat or forearms can lower down. Inhale, reach your right arm to the sky. Open up through the shoulder, dragonfly. Exhale, right hand comes down. Walk that left foot up or take a big step to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step your right foot back. Lower the knee. Inhale, walk the hands up. And if at any point you're moving through these sequences and you notice that you need to take an extra breath here or there, go for that. Listen to your body. Exhale, hands to the mat. Again, on the block if you need it. Or lowering onto those forearms. You can even lower onto the forearms in the block. That's also another way to move into the posture and still have that support if you need it. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, we'll take it one more time. Stepping that right foot up or taking that big step. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, left foot goes back. Lower the knee, nice and easy. Inhale, low crescent. Exhale, lizard lunge. Go to your level, wherever your body wants to take you today. Might even turn that knee out to the side. Rolling onto the outside of the right foot. Inhale, right arm reaches, dragonfly twist. Exhale, release the hands, step or walk it up. Inhale, halfway. Exhale. Right foot back. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, lizard lunge. Again, turning onto the outside of that left foot if you want a little bit more, or again, you can stay up nice and high, and that's a lizard lunge. Inhale, reach your left arm up. Exhale, release it down. Walk or step that right foot up. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Just hang out here in your forward fold. Separate the feet. Grab opposite elbows, bend the knees if you need to, and sway from side to side. Long, deep breaths. And release your hands. Keep your feet wide apart, or you can bring them together. It's your choice. Inhale, bend your knees and walk your hands up onto your thighs, keeping the knees bent and your hips back and down. Tuck the tailbone, and then begin to reach your arms up towards the sky. So you're finding Utkatasana, fierce pose. If the arms reaching up is too much, you can bring your hands to your heart center. That's an option for you. So hands to your heart, really sinking back into the hips. Go as low as your body allows you to go into that fierce pose, or you can reach the arms up. Just warming up the body a little bit more, building heat in this Utkatasana. Long, slow, deep breaths. Good, sink back another inch. Feel the body getting really warm here. Relax the shoulders. Take one more breath. Exhale, forward fold. Reach down. Tuck your chin. With your next inhale, raise your left foot to the sky. Again, bend in the knee is fine. It doesn't have to come up really high. Just lifting that left foot up. And then exhale, step it back, a big step. Walk your hands up onto your right thigh. Keep that lunge in your right knee. Open up your hips to the long side of your mat. Reaching your arms in a T position in opposite directions. Coming to Virabhadrasana, letter B, or warrior B. Sometimes it's called warrior 2. So you bend into that right knee, and your arms are reaching in opposite directions. Stack your shoulders over your hips. One long line from the crown of your head down, all the way at the base of your spine, and then reaching in opposite directions. Relaxing your shoulders but keeping the arms active. Lengthen through your fingertips. See how low you can go in this lunge. You might be up a little higher, but keep that bend in the knee, or you might be able to sink down even further. Find your variation. Then with your next exhale, lower your right forearm on top of your right thigh. Inhale, reach your left arm over your head. So you can keep that arm up, reaching towards the sky, or you can lengthen it all the way over like a swim stroke, bringing your bicep by your ear. Keep grounded, rooting down to the feet, and active in your core, so you're not just dumping all the weight into that right forearm. Then with your next inhale, straighten your right leg. Should feel really good to release that. Catch your right wrist and lean to your left side. Opening up through your right side body, coming into Sky Archer. Big side stretch. And relaxing the shoulders, but staying strong and active through the arms. With your next exhale, take your hands on top of your right thigh. Begin to slowly lower them down. So you're releasing your left hand either to the shin, or if you have a block, you want to use your block, you can place that left hand on top of your block at whatever height works for you. If you need to, you can scooch that back foot up just a little bit and turn it in slightly. So hand to the block, the shin, or even onto your mat. And with your next inhale, raise your right arm to the sky. Coming into revolved triangle pose. So the key of this posture is keeping that right leg straight. So if you start to bend the knee, and if it's a tiny bit bent, that's okay, but you want it as straight as possible so that when you take that twist, you feel the stretch through the outer right thigh, all the way down the sciatic nerve and the IT band of your right leg. Straight as you can, the hand can be on the hip, or you can reach your arm up to the sky. Several breaths here as you take your twist. And you'll notice you'll feel the body working to balance you here. Take one more breath. Exhale. Release your right hand down and walk your hands all the way around to the other side of your mat. So you turn your feet, right foot turns in, left foot turns out. Now you're facing the back of your mat. Bend into your left knee. Walk your hands up onto your thigh. So you move into warrior A on this side. So that means the hips are slightly square. The left knee is lunging. And if you need a little bit more space, you can walk that foot back. Turn the right hip forward and shift the left hip back. And then you can reach your arms up towards the sky, coming into your warrior A. And now as you press down through the outer part of your right foot, so the outside of your right foot is rooting down into the mat, and as you push down, you feel that stretch down the calf muscle. Reach your arms up, you can lift your gaze. And with your next exhale, release your hands, option 1 to the floor. So you can take your hands all the way down. You're going to walk that right foot up and then lift it, coming into standing splits. Or if you have a chair nearby, make sure it's not going to slide around. So put at least two of the legs of the chair on your mat. So if you're going into standing splits but you can't reach to the floor, maybe you have a couple of props there to help you. So you can bring your hands to the block to work on your standing split. If you have two blocks, use both. Standing split can be here, can be a little higher with the blocks, so you lift that right leg, or it could be on the chair. Yeah. So whatever option works for you today in your standing split, go ahead and use whatever you need in order to get that nice hamstring stretch through the back of your left leg. So that's really what we're focusing on in this posture. It's not about how high your right leg goes, it's more about the stretch through the back of that standing leg, your left leg on this side. And then once you feel really confident in your balance here, you can take one hand to that standing leg ankle, see how that feels. And play with one hand at a time. So one hand, maybe the right hand first, and then the left hand. And you see maybe the difference between the two. And then if you really want to get crazy with it, you can grab the ankle with both hands and see if you can balance there. See how it challenges you. And then from your standing split, slowly rise all the way up onto that left leg, still keeping balance in your left leg. The chair or the wall is there for you if you need it. Balancing into your left leg, raise your right knee up and cross your right leg over your left leg. Give a little bend into your left knee. And then, taking your right arm, bend at the elbow, cross it over your left arm. See if you can wrap your wrists. So we're moving into eagle pose. I'll show you from the front. You can use that chair if you need it or the wall. Balancing into your left leg, cross your right leg over your left. Give a little bend into the knee. And if you're really working on this posture, feels really shaky and wobbly at first, you can keep your toes on the floor, not like I'm doing, a little kickstand. And then wrap the right arm over the left arm, bending at the elbows. So this is a great stretch for the upper back and the shoulders here. So in your eagle pose with your arms, you want to lift your elbows up and out away from you. If you're here they're just resting on your chest, then you're not going to get as much of a stretch. You might feel a little bit of a stretch, but it won't be as much of a stretch as you could get if you were lifting and reaching forward with those elbows. So you're kind of rounding through the upper back. And then balancing on that leg. So if you need that little kickstand, keep the toes on the floor, bend the knees, sink your hips back, kind of like you do in our fierce pose or chair pose or Tolasana. When you feel confident, lift the foot. And then if you have the flexibility, wrap that foot around the calf. See if you're able to come into your eagle pose with that foot lifted. Take another breath or two here. If you're using that chair or that wall, just focus on the lower body for now. Working on your balance until you can maybe come with your hands to your heart a couple of times, and then you can wrap the arms. And then from there, exhale, release the arms and the legs. Now you're facing the back of your mat. And we'll take it on the other side. Inhale, reach your arms up over your head, take a little back bend. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. On your next inhale, raise your right leg to the sky, or just lift it a little bit so you can step that right foot back on your exhale. Adjust the feet as needed. Inhale, begin to walk your hands up onto your left thigh. And open your arms into a T position. So again, your lunge, your warrior bee, however it works for you in your body today. And take that lunge wherever you can go. Maybe it's a little higher, maybe you need a little bit more space so you separate the feet and go a little further. But find that place in the posture where it challenges you, where it takes you on that next step on your journey. So if we don't challenge ourselves, we don't grow. So you want to go to that place in the pose where you feel there's a a little bit of a discomfort, of a shakiness, of an edge. And find that place and hold it. Come to your breath. And then exhale, lower your forearm on top of your thigh. Inhale, reach your right arm up and over, stretching through your right side, coming into your side angle. Again, we want to keep the core active here, so you're not just leaning and resting on the shoulder or into this lunging all the way into your thigh. You want to activate so that if you took that arm away, you could still hold the pose. Side angle, that thigh is on fire. Take another breath. And inhale, straighten that left leg. Oh my goodness, so good. Reach your arms overhead, grab that left wrist, and lean to your right side. Coming into Sky Archer. Such a nice stretch through that side body. Staying balanced through the legs. And from there, we go into a revolved triangle. So exhale, hands can come to the thigh, or the shin, or even to your mat. Adjust the feet, so if you need to scooch that back foot up a little bit, go ahead and do that in order to keep that left leg straight. Come at whatever height you need to go at in this revolved triangle pose. So your hand can stay on the thigh, the shin, the block at whatever height works for you, or even bringing it to the mat. And then inhale, take your twist. Hand can stay at the hip or reach that arm up in your revolved triangle pose. Feel the stretch through the outer left thigh into your IT band. Roll the shoulders down and back. Turn your gaze past your left shoulder, looking towards your left fingertips. Feeling this posture working its magic into that sciatic nerve and IT band. Take another breath here. Exhale, release your left hand down and walk your hands to the opposite side of your mat, turning your feet. Left foot in, right foot out. So now you're facing the front of your mat once again. Bend into your right knee and you're squaring that left foot just a little bit at a diagonal so that when you rise up, hands come onto your thigh of the right leg, your hips are squared to the front of your mat. Bringing into the outer part of your left foot and lunging into that right knee. Slowly bring your arms up over your head into Warrior A, Virabhadrasana A, or Warrior 1. Lunge at whatever level works for you. Reaching up, gazing up, finding that union of opposites, rooting down into your feet and reaching through your fingertips. And then from your Warrior 1, take another breath in. Exhale, walk your hands down the leg. Again, you can bring your hands to the mat and lift your left leg to the sky, coming into your standing split. Or if you need the props, take your blocks. Or if you have that chair or couch in front of you, you can use that as well. So your standing split can be here, 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 hands on the mat, or use that chair. Working on the stretch to the back of the right leg. So whatever level you need to go at in order to feel the stretch through your right hamstring down all the way through your calf muscle, go there. And again, if you want to play with it, grab that ankle with one or both hands. Just test it out. See how your balance is on this leg, on this side. You might notice a difference from one side to the other. Your balance. Draw your chest towards your thigh and breathe. And then from there, release your left foot down beside your right foot. Walk your hands up your legs, moving slowly in control through all of these poses. Taking eagle pose on this side. So you're rooting into your right foot. Again, if you need the wall or the chair or whatever you've got close by to help you balance it first, start with the legs first. Get rooted in your feet. So I'll be here. If you need the chair, it's right there. And then you're grounding through that right leg. Take your left leg and cross it over your right leg. Scooch more in the middle so you can see. Cross your left leg over your right leg. Touch the toes to the floor. Give a little bend in the right knee. Then when you feel confident, maybe try and lift that left foot up off the floor. See if you can balance. And if you can't, you have that chair right there. So if you feel really wobbly and unstable, just touch the chair or the wall. Get your balance again. And then try to bring your hands back to the center. Okay? See how that feels? And then maybe you can wrap that left foot around the right calf. So wherever you're able to go in your eagle pose, eagle legs first, and then you take the arms. So left arm crosses over the right arm. Lift the elbows up and away from your chest. So remember, in your eagle pose, you want your elbows up and out so you feel the stretch through the upper back and shoulders. And then sink into your hips. Find your eagle. Come to your breath. Reach up through your fingertips and pull away. Right? So if the arms are just too much, do the legs for now. Work on your balance, getting really stable here. Using that chair or wall. Tap it a couple of times. Again, if your foot needs to stay touching the floor, you have that option to stay here and work on your balance. So everybody's at a different place in their path on this journey of yoga. So wherever your place is, whatever step you're on this journey, you just stick with it. Every single body is different. So listen to yours. If it says don't pick that foot up off the floor, don't do it. If you're really unstable, keep that toe down. But then if your body says, hey, you can go a little further, wrap that foot around the calf, see what happens, then try that. Coming into your full eagle. And if you come out of the pose, it's okay, find your breath, come right back to it. Take another breath or two here. And then slow and control release. The arms and the legs. Inhale, reach your arms up over your head and facing the front now. Take a little back bend. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, release your hands and step your feet back. Lower down onto your knees. Send your hips back to your heels, child's pose. So just coming into that resting posture for a few breaths. Your knees can be together or apart in Tolasana, child's pose. And just find your breath again. Slowly rise up to seated and turn to the long side of your mat. Bring your blocks close by if you're going to use the blocks. Move the chair away. So now we're moving into our challenging posture of the day, and I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to work on this. So because I have my baby Yoda, baby yoga shirt on, we're going to work on floating, okay? So going into scales pose, Tolasana. So we have to get into lotus pose first. And there's a couple of different options for you. You can start out in just a staff position with the legs straight. And then take your right foot on top of your left thigh. Just see how that feels in your body. See if it's available to you to bring the foot on top of the thigh. And you'll feel a pretty deep stretch into your outer thigh and hip, even your glute of the right leg. And if your knees are saying, no way, no how is this going to happen, that's okay. Just need to work on the flexibility little by little. So you can start with that foot to the inner thigh first. But try to bring the foot up onto the thigh if you can. See how that feels. And then switch legs. Maybe it's different on the other side, so bring that foot on top of your thigh, kind of towards the crease of your hip. See if it's available on that side. Again, listen to your body. If you're feeling pain at all in the posture, and you'll know it's pain when your breath stops and you feel an excruciating sensation that makes you want to react, that's pain. You don't want to feel that in any yoga pose ever. So as long as you can stay with your breath in the posture, then you can come to the pose and see how it feels. Shouldn't be any pain in your knee or your hip. But if you feel just a good stretch, then that's okay. Awesome. So now we've done one foot on each thigh on each side. So you've kind of seen how it feels and which side is easier for you. So whichever is the easier side to start on, whichever knee bent easier or whatever leg felt better on the thigh first, go with that one to start out. So beginning, option one is half lotus pose. So I'll show you our Tolasana with half lotus with the blocks first. So with that bottom foot, it's not going to come up because we're keeping that bottom foot down. We're only in half lotus. So we're going to press into the hands and lift the thighs. And see how I pull the knee? So that top leg, the foot that's in our half lotus, I'm going to lift the knee towards my chest, pulling the belly in to lift the thigh up. And you can just try that seated, see how that feels, like lifting that knee up towards the thigh. You're actively engaging through your quad muscle and through that inner thighs and your lower belly muscles as well. Your core is working here too. So it's not just upper body strength, it's the whole body working together. So as you lift that knee up, even just seated, should feel pretty light. And then you can try the other side. Try your half lotus on this opposite side, lifting the knee towards the chest. So when we press into the hands, whether on the blocks or the mat, when you lift up, you're pulling that knee up as well. So that's part of the pose, is lifting the legs up and not just using the arms, but the core and the legs as well. So now we've tried half lotus on each side. You do the same thing with just your hands. Lifting the knee, switch sides. See how it feels on this side. Press into the hands and lift the knee. And just like any other arm balancing pose, we kind of sit the hips back a little bit. We're scooping the hips back and up, rounding through the upper back, so that you're not just going straight up, which is a lot more difficult. But as you sit the hips back and you pull them back, you're able to lift up off the mat a lot easier. Now we'll try it in our full lotus. So whatever leg's easiest on top, go ahead and go there. I like to start with my right leg. And then see if you can take your left foot and kind of slide it over the shin and bring it to the opposite thigh. And if you're like, no, not happening, this does not feel good, that's okay. Just stay with your half lotus for now and keep working on the flexibility in your knees and your hips. I can tell you the first time I tried a full lotus pose, it did not feel great and wasn't possible in my body. So it just took time to open up the body and to stretch and get more flexible. But with your full lotus, this is what the posture will look like, because you have the legs stacked, so they'll just float right up as you lift off the mat. Pressing into the blocks or the hands, come into your Tolasana, your scales pose, and you float like Baby Yoda. And then trying it without the blocks is the same thing. Press into your hands, scoop the hips back and up, pull the knees up to your chest, and you float. And then you release down. Yay, and then switch legs. So whatever foot you started with, try the other side now. So that foot will come up first, and the opposite foot in your full lotus. Remember, half lotus, you can be practicing this with your half lotus too, with or without the blocks. The blocks are there just to give you more height and give you that feeling of lifting if you can't get off the mat just yet, just using your hands. So using the blocks, press down, exhale up. And we're floating. Pull those knees up to the chest. And release back down. And then try it without the blocks. Exhale, lift. And inhale, release. Whew, good job, you guys. Release the legs. Let's give one big forward fold so the legs come out long in front of you. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Come back to that long, slow, deep breath. Noticing your breath. Slowly walking your hands in, rise back up. Moving the blocks out of the way. Turning so that you're on the long side of your mat. Bend your knees. And gently lower down all the way onto your back. As you come down onto your back, hug your knees into your chest. And take both of your knees to the right side of your mat. Coming into a spinal twist, your right hand pressing to your outer left thigh. Turn your chin towards your left shoulder. Allow your breath to become longer and deeper. Inhale your knees to center. Exhale both of your knees to your left side, chin towards your right shoulder, spinal twist. If your knees don't come all the way to the floor, that's okay. You can put a block underneath the knees. or a blanket or that small pillow. Slowing your breathing down. And inhale your knees to center. And touch the soles of your feet together. Just letting your knees open out to the sides. Your arms resting beside you. Notice if there are any areas where you're still holding tension. And try to release there. Relax your face. Relax your jaw. Relax your eyes. Relax your neck and your shoulders. Coming back to your natural breath. And slowly stretching your legs out. Reaching into the corners of your mat. Resting your arms beside you, allow your whole body to release as you take a rest in Shavasana. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And breathe out, beginning to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Roll your ankles and your wrists. Turn your head from side to side. And hug your knees into your chest. Rock from side to side on your back. And roll over onto one side. Rest there for a few moments. Find your way to a seated position on your mat. Bring your hands to your heart, and we'll close our practice with some metta meditation. Metta means loving kindness. So sending out positive thoughts, positive energy and thoughts of goodwill, of pure love and compassion and kindness towards yourself and others. May all beings everywhere be happy. May all beings be peaceful. And may all beings be free from pain and suffering. The light in me honors and bows to the light in each of you. Namaste.